everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is November the 11th, 2021, and today the topic is the blind leading the blind. Um, those of you all that are going to be listening to the podcast version, you probably just heard the intro. Basically, I took the intro from what people hear on the live version, and I put it for y'all because in the hopes that it helps with this whole no instrumental thing. I didn't really get any feedback aside from my virtual assistant's feedback. So, I mean, I guess y'all like it. So I'm just going to keep it going. But for my own peace of mind, I added that intro. So hopefully that did something today, but we'll see. But anywho, the blind leading the blind. All right. So, well, long story short, y'all. A lot of things has happened. I know y'all know about what took place over the weekend, and I've been, kind of keeping myself informed of, well, this one guy in particular. He changed his name on Instagram, so it's Nuke NUK Santiago now. I've been keeping up with him, and you know, because he basically, I mean, long story short, he gave like his firsthand account of what happened at that concert that I was telling you all about. I think it was Monday that I was talking about it, and basically him waking up right and going live that night, he went viral, and so he's been sharing since then. That he's kind of seeing that the news isn't reporting the full thing of what he saw, and um, he's getting other people to share, their testimonies of what they experienced and all of that, right? So, um, yeah, so I've been following him in his journey, and maybe you guys should check him out too. I mean, I know he seems to be, taking a bit of a 360, like, got a new lease on life after experiencing what he did last weekend at, again, that concert that, I mean, I think most of us are familiar with. So, yeah, so he's been on my mind a lot. So I've just been praying for him and just trying to, hope in the hopes that, he just, stay on the path and allow God to lead him and guide him in this season, because his voice is being used to at least open the eyes of many. So, so that's one reason as well. But then also, those of you all that follow me, y'all know that last year around this time, yesterday in particular, I saw in my memories that yesterday was the first time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I shared about Allie. Well, another thing, things have gone to another level with that as well. She has been interviewed on the Stu Peters show, which is a huge platform here in the U.S. and whatnot. And so, obviously, the word is getting out about, all the things that I have been sharing here on the juice over the past year. Things that, my eyes just got opened up to of the evils and the different stuff that's going on in the world, like the human trafficking issue, as well as, um, again, like the things that the guy experienced when it comes to this whole idea of just rituals and all this type of stuff that's coming out, things that people call conspiracy, but these are things that these people have, witnessed firsthand, in obviously their own ways and the different things. But so basically, yeah, I spent a lot of time kind of taking in some information regarding that, and I've shared as much as I could as well. You should be able to see the links and whatnot, to check them out, check out their testimonies, and see what say. Use your discernment, and see what the Lord shows you about those things, especially if you're not familiar with it, and if I'm saying something to you that is foreign. um However, I guess witnessing, again, their testimonies and like observing different people and the responses and all that stuff, I guess in some roundabout way that led to my prayer meditation for today. um so, and not the prayer meditation, but the topic for today. So, the blind leading the blind, not necessarily thinking that they are necessarily the blind. I think their eyes have been opened to things that maybe even we haven't seen, right, or haven't fully witnessed, or whatever. And again, I think that's a good thing. Then they are able to reach a lot more people with um, information that people need to know, including the gospel message. So again, God is using these things to open up the eyes of many. However, I guess maybe one thing that I was thinking about this morning is like, I guess we have to be careful, because a lot of times those of us that feel like we got it all together, or we feel like, oh, we know everything, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know I talked about leadership the other day, so that's a whole nother conversation. And I mean, even after I got done this morning, I kind of was thinking about something else in regards to, being blind and all that. But just to go off of what I was finding verses about this morning, it was more so about the blind leading the blind. So let's get into these verses. Let me share with you all what I came across this morning. So Matthew 15:13, it says, "But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind, leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch." So when I was reflecting on this verse this morning, when I came across it, obviously there's a lot of ways that this could be, seen and used. But let's say, for example, now we're not even talking about like believers, right? Let's talk about, obviously, according to the Bible, those that don't believe and all that, or unbelievers, or whatever the case is, they are blind, right? And they're blinded by the God of this world. I'm going to share that verse later on. However, like, okay, let's talk about the guy, right? The guy that I shared earlier. At some point, right, he was blind, right? He's following someone like the artist that was, giving this festival or concert or whatever, and that's an indication of, hey, the blind leading the blind. Now, even though the artist may be all these different things on earth or whatever, if he doesn't have the knowledge of God or not following God according to the Bible, he's blind. So now, but then in that moment, right, in that festival, in that experience, God has opened his eyes to the realities of that type of situation. And so, and now he's seeing that he was blind or whatever. So that's one way we could look at that verse, looking at it from the unbeliever standpoint, and everything like that, and from the natural eyes versus the spiritual eyes. His spiritual eyes was open to the evils that he witnessed, and the evils that was around him. Um, obviously, I'm sure he woke up that morning and didn't imagine that, he was going to have this life-changing experience, but he did. And so, just something to think about there. Isaiah 56:10, it says, "His watchmen are blind, they are all without knowledge. They are all silent dogs that can't bark, dreaming, lying down, loving to slumber." Um, what came to my mind, or what stood out the most to me this morning when I read that verse? The part that says loving the slumber. That stood out to me the most this morning. And I mean, let's be clear, let's be honest, right? I mean, there's times where we just, like they say, ignorance is bliss. And so there's a lot of times that we'll turn our a blind eye to like some of the reality or some of the, horrific truth. Again, with Allie sharing her testimony about the human trafficking and the things she's experienced. And then even now this guy, people are still turn a blind eye to these eyewitness testimonies. Now, when it comes to the guy, I mean, he's showing video of things that he saw or whatever. So, I mean, that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, some of it, maybe we are like this verse is saying, we love to slumber, lie down, close our eyes to the things that are going on around us. But hey, another verse that crossed my mind this morning as I was writing this was like, hey, we should be watching as well as pray. We always hear this phrase these days saying stay woke. It's probably more important in this season than probably at any time. So something again to think about. Now, Isaiah 35:5, it says, "The eyes of the blind shall be opened and the ears of the deaf unstopped." So again, I mean, y'all know that phrase. I say it all the time in here. I feel like, those that I have eyes to see, I hope that you see, and those that the ears to hear, I hope that you hear. Um, I mean, obviously, diverse says it more clear than what I say, but um, yeah, I mean, I believe that those of us, I mean, I guess that are chosen by God and are chosen to walk um down the path that He has for us or whatever. I mean, that's going to be us. Our eyes are going to be open, and our ears, you're going to see and hear. And I guess once you see and hear, it's like obviously the choice is yours, what you do with it. But yeah. I just feel like everything is just like a go deeper verse, and it's like, okay, and here's more for you to think about. um, Good morning, Miss Lockett. Good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in live, and good morning to the second person as well. I'm not sure who you are, but good morning to you as well. Um, so then Psalm 146:8. The Lord opens the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down. The Lord loves the righteous. So, he can open our eyes. I believe that he is trying to open all of our eyes. I think that again, a lot of us are, closing our eyes, trying to stay in that blissful place of ignorance. But at some point, uh, we're not going to be able to play that card. Like, I think again that's why sharing the gospel is important and all those different things. Um, because yeah, at some point, according to the Bible, like everybody's going to hear, everybody's going to know, everybody's going to get the revelation about God. And so again, it's up to you what you do with it. But yeah, again, something to think about. Oh, it's Derek. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, bro. That's Bro's bites himself. Hold on. I got you, bro. There it is. Look, don't let me hit you up for some breakfast, lunch. Oh goodness. All right, let me keep going. Let me see. Deuteronomy 27:18. Ooh, this might be some Pope, but here we go. Cursed be anyone who misleads the blind man on the road, and all the people shall say amen. Oh man, now okay, that's why I say it's very important, like leaders, man. It's very important, like, you know, what you're doing and saying. Like a lot of this was kind of as I was reading, and you'll see in the go deeper section when you read a lot of those verses, if you can, will take the time to go deeper. You're gonna see that they were referring a lot to like the Pharisees and whatnot when they were talking about like the blind leading the blind and everything like that. Um, and these are the so-called leaders, right? These were the people that like taught all the things. But you're gonna see in like one, I think it was in Romans 2, because I think I read that in its entirety. But at some point in the go deeper section, in one of them verses that I put up there, it's gonna talk about like basically they were teaching things that they don't do. Like, and so Jesus told them, yeah, do what they're saying, but don't do what they do. So again, that's why this stuff is important. I mean, obviously we can go deeper with all of this in regards to opening our eyes to the things that are going on, being careful of who we're following. Those of us that feel like we got it all together, like, come on, man, humble yourselves and understand that, hey, you was once blind too. As much as I can sit here and be like, man, okay, like for example, with Allie being on the Stu Peters show and a lot of other people now being exposed to her story and her testimony regarding the human trafficking and whatnot, I can sit here and be like, oh, well, I knew this last year. You know what I'm saying? I've been following her. Like, but I mean, what does that matter? At the end of the day, I was blind, right? And I got a revelation, and I was able to see like the things that she shared. And I've been able to try to share that and stuff like that. But I'm not coming from the place of being like, oh, well, yeah, I got it all figured out and y'all is blind. Like, we are all blind. At some point, we were all blind. So let's just, again, something to think about across the board here when it comes to this. But yeah, let's see what Miss Ashley's saying. She's saying, like childhood, do as I say, not as I do. Oh Lord, right. that is something they tried to pull, huh? Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I guess that again, that's why we should be careful with that too. I mean, you should be able to practice what you preach, as they say. Um, but anywho, I'm just sharing on today. I hope that it encourages and inspires you. Um, on whatever path you're on in regards to or whatever level you're on in regards to this whole conversation. But the Bible verse of today is Psalm 22:4. It says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Facebook, YouTube, bros, Ashley, man, I thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. If you all have not heard about those individuals, Allie and the guy Nuke Santiago, check them out, man. I mean, I know some of the stuff is heavy. Like, I mean, I say take the stuff in doses if you if you haven't like experienced it or heard it already. You got to take it in doses, because you can't sit here and just be bombarding yourself with all the evils of this world. 'Cause at the end of the day, you have to believe that God is in control. He got it under control, and give those things to him. But at least you'll be aware, right, of some of the stuff that's going on. And so we don't be blind in this season, right? Let me see. I see a comment here. You don't know about the guy. Okay, so on the podcast, I haven't said straight out who I'm talking about in regards to the festival, but you know about the whole Travis Scott festival, right? Ashley, that's what I'm talking about. There was a guy that was an eyewitness that was there at the festival, and his testimony went viral. Like he just went live afterwards and was like saying what he saw, and it went viral. And so that's the guy I'm talking about. His name is Nuke. Yeah, if you look on GSL page, he went live the other day with this other girl who actually one of her family members was one of the victims. He went live with her the other day. I shared it, but I'm telling y'all, and see, this is how crazy and corrupt things are. Like, now I don't know if y'all noticed this, but have y'all ever noticed, like, either maybe some of your posts being blocked, or maybe you can't comment on a certain stuff, or maybe you can't share certain stuff. I would say since getting this understanding and following Allie, I would say that's when I first started to notice some of this stuff. Because when I start to share stuff, like certain websites, if I try to share it on here, it won't let me. I'll have to find another way to share it. Like, I might not be able to say, I might not be able to write, like, you know how you would write xyz.com. Like, I might not be able to write it like that. I might have to write out the word dot just for me to be able to post it. And there's less, like, I tried to follow him from my actress page on Instagram, and it wouldn't let me. I was able to follow him through GSL, but every time I tried to follow him on the actress page, it kept blocking me, talking about some, I don't want to misquote. Hold on, y'all know me already. Okay, I don't want to lose this what I just recorded either. But y'all got it. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on, man. And I mean, I just think we should be aware of these things. He's constantly sharing that, the news report keep talking about that there's only 8 deaths. He said himself, like, he saw at least 10 people laid out surrounding him. Like, that's what he said in his testimony when he went live. He's like, I saw at least 10 people that was laid out by me, and that was just by me. So I don't know. I mean, obviously there was a whole bunch of people there, and so for them to just say there was only 8 there, and that's the thing. Like, I think when you hear Allie's testimony about human trafficking, and then when you hear and see these things, it just all, it's like it's all tied in, and that's the crazy thing about all of this. I mean, I know it could probably sound crazy and people might think, but my whole thing is, hey, use your discernment, man. I would say, just be informed, be careful, you know what I mean? Because again, once you keep taking in all this negative stuff, I mean, it can affect you at some point. But I'm just saying, maybe we should be aware. Let me see. See what Ashley is saying. I go through the most on this blue app. Okay. I know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. The stuff that gets blocked and whatnot. But I did share on the pages, and that's why it's so crazy to me, like stuff that people comment on, because people are coming all day. Like I posted the other day, this gentleman that that was sharing some words of wisdom that I saw on YouTube, and this person wants to comment under, like trying to discredit the guy. But here's my thing, I'm like, so out of all the stuff that I post here on GSL, like we post, all kinds of encouragement. I go live every day, all this stuff, no response, no comments, no nothing, right? But then I post something, I guess that you or somebody that I guess you don't like, and then now you want some person want to comment or whatever. Or even when I commented on the guy's page and I shared about something, they're like, oh well, be careful, blah blah blah. Like, man, all I say is we should just be informed overall. Now that y'all listening to me, another site that I can't put on here. There's like, ain't that the truth? It's crazy. It's great, and that, to me, that should all be, like they say, red flags. That should be something that we're looking at, because again, the news, I honestly, I was never somebody that really watched the news like that, but you can see that they're not telling us everything. Like I mean, it's a whole lot going on, y'all. We just need to be aware of this stuff, because I think the more that we're not aware of it, then the more we just keep going on, right, and following the system or whatever, as if things is good or normal or whatever. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, there's a lot. Yeah, people are quick comment on negativity. They are. But not the stuff like this. Like I said, I shared the guy's stuff. I ain't seen no comments under that. I'm like, so nobody's even like, all right, y'all. All right. I mean, I'm just saying, check out these interviews, man. Check out these interviews. Y'all can use y'all discernment and pray about it. And, obviously y'all can, decide within yourself. And I'm talking to y'all, but also anybody else that listens to this. Let the Lord lead you and guide you on what y'all, what is true and whatnot. Like I said, I just know when it comes to the guys, now Allie has shared receipts in regards to like different documents of like throughout her life of things that's been documented along the way in regards to like different things she's experienced. But some of the claims or whatever, I know people are doubting. But the thing is, it's like, how can someone prove? I mean, aside from a rape kit, but how can someone prove that they were raped? You know what I'm saying? And then how can, like, some people, when they say that, yes, believe them, but then somebody else say that, and then you're like, oh no, don't believe them. Like, it's just very interesting, like how people pick and choose what stories and what things to pay attention to. And I think that's what's affecting us, and it was adding to this the stuff that's going on. But it's deep, y'all. It's really deep. But I'm just sharing as much as I can, and like I said, just something to think about, and just be aware of. But in regards to this conversation about blind leading the blind, I mean, yeah, I think it's probably like that in a lot of different ways. But again, I mean, I think the more that we get into the word for ourselves, and regardless, then that'll let us know what we need to do, and how we need to, I guess, guard our hearts and spirits in this season, and how to move forward with all this. But all right, y'all, man, y'all got me going in this morning. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to take the red pill and go down the rabbit hole by yourself, man. Look, I've been on this thing about a good year or so now. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I think I shared with you one of my interviews with Ashley, but I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, it's just something to look into. And it's like, I don't know what we all can do as citizens about all of this, but I think one of the best things that we can do is try to like stay informed, because I think at some point, the reason why stuff keep getting censored and blocked and whatnot is because they don't want us to know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, we need to stay keep communicating and whatnot. So I know there's all these different types of platforms and whatnot. I know Allie has a group on Telegram. I don't know if the guy's gonna get one. He needs to do something, because like I said, I tried to follow him on Instagram and it wouldn't let me do it from my acting page. And I just was like, interesting. So yeah. I mean, I was saying, let's pay more attention to the stuff that's going on, and just be aware. And like I said, if y'all can check out those videos, listen, check them out and see the things that they're saying, and Again, obviously use your discernment and pray about it, but everything ain't conspiracy and everything ain't lies, and that's all I'm saying. Like I feel like like they said, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like if there's some like because there's so much stuff that happens that we do know about. So who's to say that all this crazy stuff, that this other stuff ain't happening that we don't know about or trying? And you see the censorship. That's the thing. Like if it wasn't, if things weren't being censored and and all that, then maybe it wouldn't even be suspicious. But the fact that real numbers aren't out there and things are getting censored, like if you say certain stuff, they block you or they trying to stop you from sharing it, and all this other stuff. It's like, this is supposed to be a platform. I should be able to be, free speech and all that, but apparently not, So just saying, y'all. Yeah, just saying. But I'm gonna let y'all go for real this time. Y'all can have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye bye.